This is Too Long for a Voice Note, a podcast about everything and nothing at the same time, presented by Claire
and Enzo. Our podcast is produced in London. Some conversations are just too long for a voice note.
Hey, he's Enzo.
And she's Claire.
And this is Too Long for a Voice Note.
Hello everyone!
We're back!
Welcome back!
We're here for another episode.
Too Long for a Voice Note.
A podcast about everything and nothing at the same time. Presented by Claire and
Enzo. I was like, and who's the other one? Trying to catch it up, guys. It's been a while. It's been a month, right?
A while.
Yeah, the last episode was the Pride.
Yeah, so just to clear everything up, we haven't had a falling out or anything like that. We're still here.
Yeah.
We know we were creating some drama. But no, we were just on different trips. Enjoying summer,
living life,
enjoying the summer.
It's been all great. So
but now we're here back.
Yes. So thank you for coming back.
Yeah.
And if this is your first time here, remember to please subscribe to the channel. Yeah. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Spotify, follow us, or Apple as well. If you're on Instagram as well,
follow
us there, please. So thank you, and the ones that are subscribed, and thank you as well for you for coming back.
Thank you so much. So how have you been, little Enzo?
It's been good. It's been like a hot summer in London, which is something really new, right? And
extremely.
I think we have feeling this is being a proper summer, so it's been interesting.
Sure.
I think we were doing a lot of things, and things are happening, moving very fast. But I think now there's time for us to come back and keep our episode. Very excited for this last part of the year for what's coming for the podcast and everything. So it's very exciting.
And you had some fun trips as well. Where
did
you?
I went to Italy, so it was amazing. I went to see my family. So it was really, really cool.
I also went to Italy. I went to Bari.
Yeah.
And then I went to Valencia.
Really, really
it was
nice.
Hot, and it was lovely.
We also during this time we're not like here on YouTube or in the podcast platforms, but we did a really, really nice live with
Drop the Trash. From Drop the Trash. She was really lovely.
It was really lovely. So if you're on Instagram, you can go and check the video. It's like the live. It was kind of more like a conversation with her. She's an author. She's a comedian. So that was really, really cool. We talk about relationships and dates and horrible experiences. So I'm sure a lot of you will find that really interesting. So check that.
We're
excited.
also on TikTok as well. So please do follow us on TikTok.
We haven't posted like a dance yet, but you never know.
Trying to
Maybe
break
we're gonna
TikTok.
be like, yes. Let's see.
But
we cannot promise much, but we're trying.
Exactly. We've also been brainstorming for what we'd like to come next for the podcast. So please stay tuned because we have big plans for our little baby. Let's see. Yes. Well, with that being said, I think it's my week this week, right?
It is.
So
indeed.
It's time for
Claire's secret topic of the week.
My topic.
Okay, Claire, hit me.
It could be quite serious, but I want it to be chitty chatty.
Okay.
This is something that's been on my mind for a little while.
All right.
And I really am dying to have this proper in-depth conversation with Enzo because we haven't actually had this conversation yet.
Oh, all right.
But I would like to defend Instagram.
Oh.
I want to.
Okay, I'm like,
Enzo's
oh.
I want to have a conversation in defense of Instagram. But I mean, of course, I was thinking about how to phrase this. It doesn't need to be in defense of Instagram. And I want you to obviously counteract points of view that you don't agree with.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you guys don't know, Instagram has come under a lot of fire recently.
Drama.
So they're obviously really threatened by TikTok because TikTok is growing massively, taking over. The algorithm is insane. Nobody can crack the code for the TikTok algorithm.
Yeah.
So Instagram have, as you probably noticed in your own feed, if you are an Instagram user, they're just putting reels left, right, and center. It's become more of a video kind of platform. However, that's not the main kind of purpose of Instagram.
Originally, at least.
So that's, kind of one side of thing. And then I also want to talk about this new app that I'm sure you guys have noticed. We haven't really spoken about this, but it's called BeReal.
Oh, yeah.
So the kind of premise of BeReal is that, you have to post a selfie. I don't have it. You don't have it, right?
I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it yet.
At a certain time. So you take a picture. You only get one picture, and it also shows the reality of your setting. So it will be a selfie of me now looking at a camera and a light. So it's where you actually are.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that.
Without editing, without lighting.
Exactly. You only get one
real.
take, whereas on Instagram we do 50,000 million takes, for example. So one thing that I kind of have an issue with is I don't think that Instagram is a totally ethical company. I definitely think there are massive pitfalls there, as there are all social media companies, and probably quite a lot of companies in general. One thing that I'm finding hard, for example, with BeReal, and I don't know what you think of this is, and I was thinking about this because everyone that I'd spoken to about it and why they love the app, and I really want to know, like,
what's behind it, kind of thing.
Exactly.
What's driving you to like it?
But it's like the antidote to Instagram. It's like, this is real. It's not like Instagram. Instagram is so fake. And I was actually thinking, like, I love the fakeness. For me, right, I'm 31. I'm long past the point where I believe that what I'm seeing is an accurate reality of somebody's life. We all know that. We all surely know that is a highlight reel. It's the cute dates, the fun trips, when your body's looking banging, your blah, blah, blah. You, of course, don't share all of the shit that goes on in your life, that goes on in all of our lives. But I think maybe that I don't really compare myself really to others there. And what I like about, I follow a lot of like photographers and aesthetic accounts, and that's how I view Instagram now. For me, it is escapism, and for me, my Instagram feed is escapism. I in no way ever want anybody to look at my Instagram and think, that fucking Let's Be Claire, she thinks she's so perfect. No, it couldn't be further from the truth. And the people who are closest to me know that is not the reality. Like, we were just literally joking about that now. But for me, it is escapism, and I like that, and I don't really want realness.
I know
really.
What you mean.
I don't know what you feel about it.
I understand. Kind of like you feel like Instagram is more like I think. Okay, I just feel like it's weird because Instagram has changed a lot in many different times, right? That when we start, it was just photographers. Then people start posting on Instagram, and I think, like, regular people, not creative, let's say, or people have an interest in photography, for example, then it starts getting for everyone. But the truth is, when Instagram started becoming mainstream, it was very real. The thing is, like, people were posting horrible photos of food, horrible selfies, horrible things. And I think what a lot of people feels bothered about that was Instagram, which is not, it wasn't even the objective of Instagram, because Instagram was always an aesthetic, artistic platform. So I guess it went from this point of, it's reaching everyone, and it got ugly because people were posting a lot of ugly photos, or kind of like a flash picture of like a soup, and it's kind of like, you remember those times, everything very disgusting and blah, blah. But it was, let's say, real. But then somehow, like, people are like, they have a tendency with art, so they're creatives, or blah blah blah. I feel like they kind of took over that, and they're starting to like put more aesthetics behind Instagram, and all these beautiful accounts are starting to come back. And then it was like beautiful food account, beautiful fashion accounts, but then after that it became more like, humans faking as well. We are posting photos where we don't look real, with filters, or pretending that's the reality. So I guess like how Instagram has been like growing or changing over time is being very interesting, because it went from something that actually was always very posy, I feel, very exclusive, very like, Instagram, I mean, it's born for photographers, for creative people, that not always represents reality, represents your vision of something, represents art, which is not necessarily what's happening in front of me now, right? So kind of like, but then I understand all the social challenges of people really being affected by how Instagram is, because people started to feel like, I don't have that life, I don't have that. So it's kind of like, I understand where people come from this point, like, BeReal is cool because it's kind of like, it doesn't have all this editing. But the point is, as you say, which I agree, I think at this point we all know Instagram is a platform full of edition. And we should be fine with it, because that's why you're there, because the beautiful accounts are there, the architectural accounts are there, all the models, personal trainers, they just make an effort to look very whatever pretty is for everyone. And it's kind of like, you shouldn't expect nothing different from it. And if you have a problem with someone not posting the real version of their life, well, but why they have to though? Why you have to be real in front of millions of people that if they follow you, like what's behind that. I don't have to, my job is not to be real. I don't need to share my real life, whatever that means. I can share the edited version of it, which is what Instagram is. And then BeReal, but I understand like BeReal is kind of like, let's say, because now we are more and more trapped in this kind of pretentiousness and fakeness, and everything is got trend and everything is so worked, nothing is natural and spontaneous. So that's what people that are missing the spontaneousness, they get to this app because it's like 100% spontaneous. But I don't think you need to shade Instagram or like put Instagram aside to make this app. You can love both,
just
right?
A different way to be. And there's two things that I wanted to pick up on from what you said. Like, number one, I think it is really important to recognize that, like, we are, like I said, saying this from our early 30s. We're not 15-year-olds that are on Instagram, where our brains are fully formed. And, like, we're fairly self-aware. Like, we know that we've thought about it a lot. We've thought about, and we're coming at it as adults. But because Instagram didn't come in until our early 20s or something like that. So it's like, I understand that is different, and that is more of an issue, like for teens and that kind of thing. And like they might not have not as in a pretentious way, but not be able to grasp that this is not reality. So that is important in a way. And then the other thing that I was going to say is that, like, I think that's probably true for both of us, and probably for a lot of you listening, that I really do choose what I share on Instagram. And it really is like, I don't want to talk about my health on Instagram. Like, I choose to talk about that with my best friends or people that I love and trust. And that's okay. Like you say, like, I don't want to show somebody like the reality sometimes. That's the thing. And it's like, again, I'm not trying to portray that I'm perfect at all. And like, but that's what I weirdly have come to like about Instagram, that it's kind of like an escapism.
This topic is really, really interesting because it's kind of like how we humans think and react to things. Because then I'm thinking, for example, about like how, for example, Dua Lipa and her team or whoever, they're trying to spin her Instagram and make it like relatable. So she's taking photos of like a dirty mug, of her blurry, of her like drunk in the middle of the night, and make it like, haha, I'm a superstar, but I'm supernatural as well, like you, all of you. And that's kind of like, that's fake as well. If we comes to that, because that's something that you take with an intention, you select it, you edit it, you change a bit. Obviously, there has a bit of addition, and you are writing a narrative through the photos. You are creating a narrative through the photos and posting it. That's not 100% natural, right?
No.
But then I guess it worked because it's a response of us being tired of filters, for example. Because if you look at, I don't know, Kylie Jenner Instagram is full of filters, and that's tiring, but you also have the option to not follow her. So it's kind of this kind of like situation. It's also about who you follow, and if you're expecting to have people on your feed that are totally natural, you need to know who to follow. You don't need to ask celebrities to be that, because they're not that.
Exactly. And sorry, carry
No, it's
but it's also like, call it what it is. Call it what it is. Instagram is marketing. Dua Lipa, that hasn't just happened. Like you say, that a little like marketing team has said like, this is the vibe that we're going to go for, because her Instagram helps her sell more albums.
And to like her more, basically. I like her more because of her photos.
Exactly, because you know, she's at some Dolce & Gabbana show or something like that. Blah 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 blah. You know more about her. But it is a marketing tool. So, like, of course it's going to be, like, somebody has thought about that. It doesn't just happen. So it's just like, I don't really know what people are expecting.
Yes, I do feel like Instagram is not a place to play this game that we are real and we are 100% like this.
At all.
Like, I think at this point, Instagram has changed so much that we just need to be clear at the point that it is now. And as you say, it's a marketing tool. Like, business, they make money out of it. It's no more, let's have fun, which is a shame for us. Maybe sometimes I wish also was more artistic, blah, blah, blah. But there's responses to that. There's other platforms. But I do understand why it kind of makes you feel weird. Like, we have this app called BeReal, and kind of like everything that happened on Instagram is not real. It's kind of like, a bit like a whiny, like, yeah, we are better here.
It is.
Kind of like that,
it does
right?
bother me. And it's, again, don't get me wrong, I know a lot of this is about ugly pictures.
Yeah,
I have a strong issue with ugly
pictures.
I don't want to see that. I don't care.
But then, how fun it is that people are posting their BeReal images
on
their
Instagram.
So it's kind of like what we're doing here, right? So it's kind of like I'm showing through Instagram that I'm very real. It's a bit like, at the end of the day, it's just the way we express ourselves, right, on the internet. And I think what I find interesting about social media overall in this context is like we always find new ways to express ourselves. And I think as a society, and it's always changing. For example, what happened with TikTok and the pandemic. TikTok was for a long time already was around. Nobody knew it. TikTok, nobody paid attention until we were trapped at home and someone discovered that we can dance and we can put it on TikTok. And that's how like it's such a response of the moment and how it changed, because then that changed the game for everything.
Yeah.
And now we like videos more after the pandemic because we didn't have ways to communicate with each other, which was through a screen. So let's make it more visual. And now it became part of Instagram. But I'm sure like in a few years or in a year that will change again. And it's just like how we interpret life and how it's difficult to judge this because it's always changing. And there's no rule book for this,
exactly.
Right?
And also, like, another thing I was thinking when you were saying was, like, be real. Okay, yeah, you're being so real, showing something. But again, you're showing a snapshot of your day, which is not 100% you.
Yeah.
Neither is Instagram, neither is TikTok.
True.
Social media is never going to be 100% you. Let's hope to God it's never 100% you, because I believe, completely your choice, but I believe there should be some things that you choose to share with people that are meaningful to you. But like again, that's not your whole life either.
Yeah, because you can be crying and you can take a snap photo on a coffee and I'm working on my project, and then you take the phone and then you're like, I'm depressed, exactly. I'm not living my happy life.
So how real is that either way? Because I think it's just, let's all accept that any form of social media is most likely your highlight reel.
Yeah, an interpretation of everything.
It is.
Yeah.
Because you're not showing your crying pictures on BeReal, whatever it's called.
Some people they do it. Some people they don't.
Yeah.
That's fine as well.
Yeah.
Some people they use Instagram to show their struggles, their problems, all they have, which is fine as well.
Yeah.
But also, I understand I understand what you say about defending Instagram, because it's kind of like you don't want Instagram to become this people being all real. You want to have like a pretty version of things to see and to escape. And also maybe you don't want to see 2,000 videos of people dancing because it's not what you want, right? Yeah. You want more like quality content maybe. I think that's the problem, and I think that's what's the backlash to Instagram got very big as well. Because it's kind of like, even if you like aesthetic stuff, that's also difficult to get now because you get just videos.
It's
so
true.
It's a bit like,
and that is actually really true, because obviously like creatives, like that's obviously the reason we will use Instagram, that a lot of people have come forward and said like, well, it's not really a photo platform anymore, it's more of a video platform anymore, which isn't ideal. And as I said at the beginning, like definitely not defending a lot of their practices. And I think obviously like the adverts and the marketing, it's super annoying, like it's super invasive, all of that.
Yeah.
However, I just think like you need to take every social media platform with a massive pinch of salt.
Yeah.
And like you say, if you don't like Kim K or Kylie or whatever, don't follow them. Like block them, hide them, mute them, whatever. Like you get to choose what you follow, and you apart from the ads, like you create your feed. You know,
that's what you expect to do. To create what you like.
Yeah, a lot of their practices again not okay. But again, like I don't think they should be like, oh, we're so real on BeReal. Like it's not, because neither is real in my view.
Yeah,
it's all curated in some way. And also, that's my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. And also I feel like, why do we need to know the real version of the little intricate moment of each other's life? If I want to know that, I will know yours because we're friends and we talk about it. But I don't really, at the end of the day, I think I understand that it's refreshing, it helps you to connect with someone else. For example, if you admire someone, you would like to see them being real, to talking about stuff because you will connect with them. But they don't have the responsibility to share everything.
At all.
And I don't really want to know that deep.
No.
I don't really want to, like, how real do you want to get? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like what that does mean to, I want to know the real version of people, right?
Yeah.
So that's a good question. Like, how far you want to go? Like, Do you want to see, I don't know, Dua Lipa taking a poo? No, you can see a funny picture, I'm in the toilet, but I don't really want to see her cleaning her ass, maybe, it's like, there's a point of it, like, what do you gain from that?
It's funny, right? It's like that thing of like, I think we all just have to assume that everybody that we see on Instagram that we think has a fucking amazing life has literally the same struggles as anyone does. Definitely. Because we're all humans. No one is immune. Like, I think it kind of goes without saying, but maybe it doesn't. Yeah. Like, I know that it's created this like celebrity culture, this influencer culture, all of that.
Which I understand.
But no one is immune from pain. No one is immune from like heartache, blah, 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 health problems, so it's a bit like you need to like remember that. Yeah. And it's people's businesses on Instagram. They don't owe you anything to tell you, And
at the end of the
keep
day,
that in mind.
Yeah. And it's complicated because some people will say, because Instagram is a free platform. We don't pay for it. Even though they create money out of the data or whatever we consume. So it's kind of like, I understand when people that are kind of like asking things from the platform, but I think we're not asking the right things, maybe, because the problems in Instagram are sometimes their content that shouldn't be up, and it's up. Yeah. There's racist content that is there.
Agreed, which is really problematic.
That's problematic. That's what we should fighting for. Yeah. Because that's real, actually. That's very real. Because you see, like, I have seen many posts that were happening about, for example, like with all the guns in America, people with guns on Instagram saying like, oh, you go and kill, or you go, like that propaganda that I will think, for example, that it's really negative, because I don't think we shouldn't see guns anywhere in that way, because it's very violent and they just kill a lot of people, for example. But if you think about it, that's a representation of reality. So what's the truth here? Yeah. Like, and that's why, even though I don't agree, I have seen a lot of people like fighting through it. A lot of people saying like, it's my Instagram. I do believe in guns, and I want to put a picture with a gun. That's very real, but we don't believe that that's good. Or it's some true. People it's don't true. Believe. So where, what are the rules here?
Exactly.
That's a problem.
It runs so deep, but I just think I now know the way that I love planning my feed. It gives me so much joy. I love matching the colours. I love that kind of stuff. Am I trying to portray that I'm perfect? Fuck no. Do I think anybody else on Instagram is perfect? Absolutely not. I just think like use it how you want to use it. Mute, block what you don't want, and enjoy your life.
Yeah, definitely.
Basically.
Because it's a choice at the end.
It is.
Everything is a choice.
No one is forcing you.
Yeah, and I think there's a part of it like at the end, I guess, if you're not hurting anyone, it's all right.
Which we're looking at it from that side, not in
I don't know. I mean, obviously, you can tell, like, I don't know, the Kardashians are hurting young kids, and they have. Well, I mean, we can go deeper with this because they also promote things that they shouldn't promote, or products or things.
Yeah.
But I guess everything could have like a good side and a bad side, and also we have the choice now to follow or unfollow things, and. If we don't think about it, so we just need to block everything and like kind of like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like it runs deeper like that. If there's young people, you don't want young people to have this. So as a parent, maybe you should do something with your young kids and teach them things at home as well. Because now with internet, everything is out there. Doesn't matter like if you use BeReal, if you use TikTok, if you use Instagram, there are things you cannot block. Yeah. Because everything is on internet. Exactly. So like what's good, what's bad, what's not that bad. So it's very problematic. But I was thinking like that's real as well. Why is not real your desire to have beautiful aesthetical pictures all organized together in a nice way? You know what I mean? We can go philosophical with this forever. I think that's the problem of these things. Yeah. What's real and what's not.
Yeah, I just
like
think,
you're right.
I just think again it's like that. It's funny, I really realised with all of this stuff coming up, like I really feel Instagram is actually like a creative outlet for me, as it is for you. It truly, that is what it is for me. Yeah. And I get so much inspiration from travel photographers, editing tips, you know, like all of that. Definitely. Like that's how I get inspiration to see how other video editors are working, you know? Yeah. And I'm sure you were like that with photographers. Like 100%. And that's like the bubble. I'm fully aware that I've created a bubble. Yeah. That is but that's a bubble that I want on that tiny thing in my life. Yeah, that is Instagram, you know?
Very interesting. I think we should download BeReal for the podcast and see how that goes. That would be very fun.
There'll be like the most aesthetic BeReal pictures. I'll be like,
You know, I think we should download it. You should have the login, me too, and we should like use it one day. You use it one day. I use it, right?
Okay.
And see, it's good. Let's see how that goes. It will be interesting, because maybe one day a week we'll be actually filming the podcast. So,
most likely.
And the other day we'll be like, I don't know, doing whatever. I don't know. I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm curious too.
I'm curious too. Let's see. Maybe we can have a recap later about how we feel about it. I mean, we love this. It's so much fun. It could be fun. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
I'm sure
it's
fun.
It's not that.
Apps
It's not about that.
They're designed to be fun and to catch your attention. So I'm sure that's obviously something there.
Anyway, it's just the aesthetics. They hurt me.
I'm like, be like,
the aesthetics.
The colors. No.
Well, guys, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. We're
thank
so
you so
happy
much, Claire,
to be
for
back.
sharing.
You're most welcome, Enzita.
Social media and BeReal. Can't wait to use it and maybe have.
Maybe we'll download it. We'll have a thing, and then we'll give you guys some feedback.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Drop
and see
your
you
comments.
next episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye.